Thanks for coming. I want to take this opportunity to really express my deepest sympathy to the family of Kofi Adoma. Honestly, I'm in pain. I'm saddened to have seen what is going on. Unbelievable. For 2 days when I heard and I watched it since Saturday and Sunday, I just couldn't even get off. I couldn't even eat. Because this is a gentleman, a very fine media journalist who is highly respected. And the sad part for me is the fact that he actually was doing his duty and going to take culture display. Something that really identifies who we are as a people. And such a misfortune. I want to take this opportunity and stand on behalf of all the people of Dorma, because that is where he came to. I was there that day, but I didn't know such a thing had happened. And I would like to say that for all the people, especially the family, most especially the wife, please, our prayers are with you. Our prayers are with you. I only ask for the good Lord himself.
You're watching Dadzi TV.
And give you the strength to go through what you are going through. Having said that, I want to take this opportunity to address some of the issues that I believe must be handled, that has come to the fore by this crisis, and which we Ghanaians and everyone must really take the opportunity to look at, especially for our children. Most of these young people who are now in this media space are very young, and they are doing their best. But what it simply means by this that has happened to Kofi here means that a simple gunpowder exposure, whether to the eye, to the ear, or wherever, because we have people who have had their hands amputated. What it simply means is that this country is not ready. We are not ready for gunpowder. Yes, we are ready for our culture. But if we are in a position where a simple gunpowder accident cannot be treated in Ghana, when you hear the pain the wife is going through and the amount of money they are mentioning, how many people can do this? And how many, even if it's in cities, how many people? Please, on this note, let me appeal to the president of this country. We have all the facilities in Ghana today. I am aware of the facility that was put together in Legon because I was part of the agents who represented the Israelis. I know the intention of that facility. Then again, we have all this agenda, one here, agenda 111. So all other infrastructural projects that have been put together as hospitals. And we sit here. The thing happened in Dorma. He was taken to the Dorma hospital, then to Brekum, then to Accra, and then has to be flown out. How many times? My appeal is that a committee be set in place immediately. And that committee should look at whether Ghana, at this point where we stand, needs to put money in major infrastructural hospital projects, or rather to bring in equipment, and then train our doctors for a very short period to be doing things for our citizens when it's needed. Because clearly, we have the buildings, we have the structures. One is in Kolebu, and one is at Legon, with great intentions. Yet, today, a simple gunpowder exposure to a young, intelligent, young person has brought so much sorrow to a whole family, to a whole nation, to the point where areas that are not supposed to go into has been gone to the point where we have even the tribal divide that is not supposed to be deepened is now being deepened for reasons out of pain, out of frustration. So I believe that government should immediately, legislature immediately, look at this issue. Every time we go for cultural programs, we all get scared when we hear the gunshot. I never knew that it can get to this stage where such a brilliant young person working for his nation, working for this country, can be put in this position of feeling of hopelessness. How much can we all do? And that is my appeal. If you are not ready for gunpowder shots, if you don't have the system to really take care of them, then we can't use it. It must be suspended until when Ghana is ready to treat our young people, it's ready to treat its nation, its citizens, when there is such episode. Let me again reiterate this after having said this. Please, for the family, and especially my daughter, the wife, as for Kofi, I know his situation, there's not much we can do. I'm not here to give brief for anyone, but I want to appeal, especially for the people of Banda. My pain is with you. I, Nana Frimpomaa, a Dorma person sitting here, I was a queen mother for almost 20-something years. Today, I'm a state person, I'm into politics, but understand the traditional system thoroughly. I want to assure everyone, especially the family in Banda, that have loved ones in Banda. I have family members married to Banda people. We are one people. On the day of our independence, our father Osagyefo, when we were supposed to celebrate, stood on stage in tears of celebration, but made a statement, a very profound statement, that independence that we had gotten had not much meaning, was meaningless, unless it was tied to the total liberation of the African continent. We saw the unity of Africa as the way forward for us to get the economic impact that we needed as a people.
You're watching Dadzi TV.
Today, look at where we are. And so I would appeal that in Ghana, let's get together. Where somebody is from a Kusasi person, someone from Pando, from Dormaa, it does not matter. An injured person must get the help he needs. Whether the person is a top media person or just a person on the street, must get the help he needs or she needs. And when something happens, traditionally, the top people like my chief, Osagyefo, will not be the first person to walk to the house or come and find out what happened. I know what I'm talking about. But there are structures and systems in place. Even me, as I sit here, before I go somewhere, I send my PR person, I send people to find out. He sent his right-hand person. He will say, Nepoma. Nana Dekusi, may you rest in perfect peace. As I speak, tears might come to my eyes. He was the chairperson of that committee that handled the cultural in Dormaa, the festival. So he was there. He was sent. He's the one that does everything for the chief when something happens. Yet, when God takes something away from us, there's nothing we can do. Whilst in the process, he passed on. A very sad thing that has happened to we, the people from Dorma and the entire nation and all his friends and family. So, like again, not to hold brief. Yet he got up and all he heard one day was people making statements online. I want to assure you, my dear sister, my daughter, and once you are now on the stool, my mother, we are with you, okay? I feel your pain. It is not a Dorma and a Banda issue. Neither, it is just purely a human institutional thing that must be addressed. And sometimes, the way all these other nations have developed, let me tell everyone listening to me, it has developed when issues like this come up, and it is addressed dispassionately, it is addressed without deepening tribal sentiments and addressing the issue. Maybe if it was somebody else's child, maybe if it was the big men, as we all know, we might not even have heard much because there will be money to fly out and take care of them. But today, I'm telling you, there are several people that have gone through this case, that have gotten injured by gunpowder and have not been addressed. And today, I want to tell my son Kofi, wherever he is, that our prayers are with you. And that I'm not surprised to some extent that an injury to you has brought to the fore a problem that must be addressed. I'm calling upon the youth of this nation. I'm calling upon all of you, the media houses. Go ahead and demand that the right thing to be done. Go ahead and make sure that the hospitals are equipped enough. We should not build no more hospital infrastructure unless the very hospitals that we have been properly equipped to take care of you when you have such issues. And if we can't, like I said, treat ordinary gunpowder, let's hold on to such activities at the festival as our cultural displays until we can have the proper systems to take care of the injured. That's all I'm pleading for. And that is all I can say that, oh, Kofi, my prayer is with you. Our prayer is with you and the family. From my heart to your heart. From my heart to you. May God hear our prayer. And we'll all do everything financially to support you. Everything that we can do. And ready and count. Ene, the bia meti hey. Me jina ha. The man Dorma Fodoma Ghana for Flagbearer. Me say, me ba Kofi. Erade empire ene ye bomam. Unim akoma ye re ahoye hono. Ye kan enjeshi. Ateti ani pe go through. Se me pese me hu picture nipa na bibi to me so. Abrantie papa bi. Me kai time awo yes a program bi di ma. A friend is saying Ghana Traditional Council. Time and crab sembi ne yesi aware sembi. Na me say abrantie die. The program si na hote. Cause so my yet see what was going on. Epe wasem. Esreba de ma. They are so dear. O se Ghana fo nyinara sorry. Ne nyina de ahoden boa. Ne mo pesa me ka ne bi chiro. Se asem na ato no. Abru ye nyina ya dwene so. Ebru ye so. Chiradi pe ene be so. Na emra na eno ma wo Ghana wo se ye ma ne ye na sa asem ato no. Enso nua bia no. Enu ene wo se gina ho. Na ka se asem e so ye baba ko na efen Kofi no. Ene na ama Ghana ene eye sa amra we. Ya me aye se ama Ghana aye ye. Na sa asem no entu ni because nkwa be brain ni be brain enya situation bi a emma bontin enso esa usuban pa esa wadwuma pa esa adwuma we enti no na ye nyinara ya sorry enti enne me kasa me se yem papa president ne otisui minim etri pa na mo adwen pa na egda mutiri ma mo de ye the hospital na yesi wo Legon no minim pa because I was part of Oma na omu representing Israelis no kama yesi hospital second phase of it. Baby, in hospital, then ordinary hospital, so we are not calling better treatment. Build an active or a monument, I don't if I say, Bibi is why that was not the intention. Yes, Remo. Ghana for doctors, papa, Oko baby, or mutimi surgery being see that. The intention of the hospital is say, Yema, Nipe Fianum, Amanone, Abba, now Omunia problems, someone by hospital. Nanka foreign exchange. Then na ye mayari ordinary gunpowder come with you say gunpowder. It's so a gunpowder injury no. Ebe kum ye ma. Emo money be frefra. Emo mo nya hospital care. You say need doctors because you need equipment. You best say papa. Me trust for the committee. Now my committee no and look at all the infrastructure I want. Hospitals in Dorma, ebi wo brekum, ebi wo ha, ebi wo pando, ebi wo bia. Yeah, equipping hospitals see. Send a beya equipment no. Ebenya doctors asem so obi e wo
You're watching Dadzi TV.
Obetimi ebetima show mo. Nyenya ambulance sa e form free class any hospital. Na me puma chow. Mo hold on to the major infrastructural buildings no. Not training kakra doctors ni here in this equipment no omubenya. Na Ghana citizens no. Omo yo majuma everyday young men, omo yo majuma ni women, omo yo majuma ni papa phone in kokafa ye ejuma no. Ejuma go around our business and not have to worry about how we get foreign exchange. And sana asembi tuwa etima show. Omo ye tuo ye tutu omu koma. Yen tam back in free US and fan ko Germany na Italy and sana bonyamwa. Etuo ho ntino omo system side e be show. Na say ordinary gunpowder wo kwaye bi ase we bi be na ye cheche asumpa de se e ba na se ni hu system am de me ho adwiri mi ankasa ama mabohu enti ye be sere se e hono mo hwe ni pa chomunya kasa ewie no media matia konwa so mfie aduonu enum ekin na chi ene my politician en sekonwa no de abusuafo akodi abusuafo nemo me traditional council ni traditional system na sepa ti mesre mi nuaba mesre obiara a obaabia se sesia no ye ka traditional sema ya mesremo me yemfa haw ene yaw pin kasa na yankoka de sebe ye nyanya adwene se edeka na sase bi se ba yesuma ema nipa ne hwehwe sebe nipa meti he mintutu mi nan ko ba bia sa me wo PA me wo pla me wo nipa omko ansa na matoa so no hene kase Frimpomaa a owo Dormaa se bibi se si a ofre no soma na me ra ho me ho san se onipa odane ne poma e wo Dormaa mamu ansa ne ni si ho ansa na otrans be si na nyinara no ye ne poma no a ye mianka sami sweetheart na de ko si ankobia ne odaya me person be campo bia na nso me kan ye ebu because you say yaka ye nya kan kase de so asema banchi e na me kan wase ono na osoma no se o meti asemi obejina junction hwehwe ya ko pie fie ho e mo hia ohima odin krakom akoka chena na etwa mu atwan akoye na ade wo China na tu kwan otieye ochena na chen de onye se ampa se o se di ni ko referral baby a o hospital a misro munye referral form no na mo fanka ho na mo quality enkoma no sika a bombo ye no na ka se ye famra oda mo nemu eni na san esi de awadi pe eno ohye ena asem kese ebeto Dormaa man enti nto aso na enti mama enti onwo ho ewo be na pansuo mu ahomachi be no nan o hwe phone calls be baby ba won tiase o fa ya na eyasem a me pese me poso so na me kaniti a esi wo Dorma men enti mesem when huni hwano krampo no te se social media we so ya say epo ma show mesem papa ye kana semi hye bia wonya asem fanko court da obi adi na modanse na koma pa the way odini case di nipa ye die ka ho no oti hompo na utie mpa na wani achi ti mesem domafo say every banda say Dorma say if you say it doesn't matter e gana fo asem ya to ye ba no emo edurudo nti mo me handle sasem no na sebi mpredua sam to sebi ohini kese na mpo no ade na ye yika me bit mato no sa gampada na edito toto no bit mato cause ahemfo na ba na omoto ahemfo na ba na omoto enti ho asem na mo mienka ti meso menia me maame me ba prekope wo yaw ye me yaw ye me yaw ti wasem na te say bibi to me so em sha me usa wo bre na sika pojo ensese ensi me so abotre wati abotre yen hwe radi non sign ba ne ya le mai no fanom am wo banda wa wonim Alhaji Amidu awu ya academy tan play na dey fi akọ banda me tim bi na de koye military play de koye banda me mago madofo wo Alhaji Ketwa Fatima omunyinara yesremo Dorma bando dwahu ehifon ye mpa baako tribal no se we fi me ntwem me nka bie asem to nipa na wa ya asem no me nka ye papa osaje foto takwa me nkoma ye nyina ye nima enne ye nya ye wo fa ho de nti etimi fe ho se ye ye koman efe Ghana no eda ye nya ye independence na all senka ye celebrating kwa na odiso any handkerchief asem no kan o say sa independence ye nya yentimi enka se esom bobo so kosi emperedo a Africa ninara benya ne famudi na Africa fa hudie no yenyaye no yenya wie mpo no yenya baako Ghana ha nipa baako enti sasem sia momma yenka se na we Dorma my modini bia mpo bebia baako no efiba ehunhia na momma yen momodimbo na asem na aba no yemfa ngina so na yenhwe empunso ebenya koman because obia asem asebia to ye bayi ye dofui enye ono nkoa na ato no enso na say ni na ka ho asem if say oye nipa titu asem titu obia na ema koman no nsem a enye papa no etim ka ho asem ema ne yeye enti legislature say any ahemfo munyinara grandfather no yenyanya ho hospital normal mumien fa to ansa tradition no ye betima ye without the gunshots and so such a timer ye be training boys ye be making sure institutions no some overseeing institution be making sure say obi okita sa gunpowder na oto bia no some sort of training and some sort of licensing and so na wato na obi supra
you're watching Dadzi TV
ayo hwe bia wo ba bia wo no ai betima hwe no na de esi wo ye bayi mu ebi nsi bia mu da mese Ghana fo amu ye bloggers ni mu amu ba biara newsmen obiara me poma chop mon fa matter we emphasize angle no na kroni picture na ye ho ntoye na se na to abrantie eto a bia na wo busuafo de o manti nye no so nti na mo beka say sebe mo nko programs bie because Ghana traditional programs say baby I will be around say ye a how say north no say ye south no say baby no baby e ko bia no enyinara eto ni eto obi a wo so yem show tie besre It's means some cancer so. Say me jina Dorma phone in anim. Me jina kana phone na esrobia asem no. Mom yan fanko. Na yan fan resolve. Yan fan reform yen systems. Na yan improve ma Ghana for na sepe. Empayinfo no man pe no German payinfo nko mo asem so ma. Omo baby omo de omo ho fa. O sorry ya na call hospital. Ti esre mo. Mom yan fa improve system no na hospitals na ye. Mom yan fa and making sure that we have the equipment to address issues that concerns us when it happens. So on this note, I can say, ye mami or hima, me ankasa me ba Kofi erati. And I'm more fan more banda and more mobile piara. Esre register on one kasa de chimure. Kana for mummy na me ni na mwa. Niema DSC in CBM is in SWA system need to support. But the CNA you buy that way there. Obia M1 the contribution kakra needs me fa and support akwe. I wadin sham and shobia. Na Kofi ya kan you pompa ya mawati. On beto wati. On beto wati. Mami. Uku beto wati. I didn't come. Thank you for this opportunity. Let me put it here on record. I'm speaking as someone from Dorma. I'm speaking as a traditional, someone has also been a traditional ruler. And I'm speaking also because I have investigated the matter. And I can say with authority that Dorma Hene did exactly what was supposed to have been done. But every traditional ruler will understand what I'm saying. He did everything. He took all the steps. But in life, and that is why we all say, that is why it is said that even the murderer must have a day in court, no matter what. Because until you hear somebody's version, you might always condemn the person. And you realize that the person with the knife standing there was not even the person who committed the murder. He actually was trying to save the person. And something happened. This is not what happened. Actually, when the case happened, I know the particular chief who was coming through his entrance that this thing happened. He consulted the person and found out what happened. Then he sent someone, like I said, his right-hand person, who it was also the chairperson of that committee that did the festival committee. He did everything. So when we say chair, it means that all the monies that were collected and everything, they still have bills to pay. So he sent him to go and investigate and come and give him the report. That's the way chiefs do things. They get a report, just like the president. If something happens, that doesn't just walking there. Security must be there. They must make sure that the president is going and that it's safe for him to come. These are things that happen. So he sent the gentleman, who is also one of the top chiefs in the Dorma traditional.
You're watching Dadzi TV.
Outside being his personal aide, who also helps in everything. So he went there and actually went and met the family and came back and told him he was on his way traveling, which had already been scheduled. He knew that everything would go on as planned. So there was some payment that was needed to be made. He actually told the gentleman that just make sure, I'm not around, so get the referral slip and then effect the payment from the council, from since it was the committee head, from that what had been collected. So he already gave that instruction. And he was following up until he saw several calls by 4 a.m. on his own phone, only to tell him of a sudden situation that because Dorma mind has not mentioned, I wouldn't want to mention it here, even his name, they know. So you can imagine the pain and agony. Even me, when I heard it that day, I had to go to the house. The pain and agony, the shock that we had, unbelievable, because the man is my very good friend. like a brother. Every time we go to festivals, I go with him, whether it's Akwamo everywhere. So when it happened, that was an immediate issue to handle. Please, you understand? So in the process, he only heard allegations online. Before he could say Jack, there were allegations online attacking him personally. Now, if I was still on the stool at Dorma, part of the Dorma Traditional Council coming here, I wouldn't have come to say anything but to also retort and maybe get back at what has been said online. But because of my statesperson's position now, and also being a child or a daughter from there and having known what happened, I found out, and I'm here to say that it is not what it is being done. The man, everybody who knows Dorma Hene in his chambers, when he sits there to judge cases, will tell you he's one judge that would always come on the side of the person struggling. And that even if he sees something, he would give people room to go and handle it properly. So, it is not what it's being said at all. At all. But this is not the time for him to come out. He's not supposed to come out now and now answer to everyday person on the street who is condemning him. Please, you understand? That is not the way. That's why I'm appealing. I was appealing to my daughter. I was appealing to my mother, because once she's on the stool, she's my mother. And yet she's my daughter. Because she's married to my son too. Because Kofi is my sweetheart. I really love the man. So I'm appealing to her that she should have the patience. Oma Adobre. Sometimes when we are in such pain, we might say things we don't want to say. We don't even intend to say. That's all I can do. I'm appealing to her. But Dorma Hene, I'll tell you, did not err at all. He did everything. You should know him to understand what I'm saying. This is somebody who walks to every corner in Dorma to be able to organize people, to clean the place, keep the place clean, taking care of students, taking care of people, ensuring. No. Ask anybody on the street and they'll tell you who he is. So this is not a Dorma and Banda or any case. This is a human institution. This is our son who has had a problem, and I would appeal to everyone, please, let's cut off on this whole thing of attacking people, because everybody must be given a day in court. Everyone. If they take any transport today and go to look for him, he will give them audience, and it will be heard. But at this point, what is he supposed to do? Ahimfo, they don't just walk to places. They sent first, and he did. And yet, what happened to him is, I won't say it's worse than what is happening to Kofi, but it's not something that sometimes we all plead for life. And so, and once you have life, we are praying and we have hope that he would heal. But when the life is gone, that's a different story. So nobody really knows the state that Dorma Hene was placed in. And that's why I'm here to say that it is not what we think it is. The one concerning the arrest and all that, I might not be able to give the full, be able to put, my opinions are going to be the ones I'm talking about here. I remember people are comparing it to what happened here in Nungwa. Let me even take the opportunity to wish the family our sincere condolences. Indeed, when I saw it, I said, what? I was imagining, what is this? Who did this? Okay? I don't know whether that thing was also a gunpowder episode, or clearly an attempt to murder somebody. You understand? And this particular one that we are referring to in the Dorma traditional area, let me put some little light to it so that people can understand when they are blaming Dorma Hene, to see the extent of it and know how far we can go with our blames here. You see, gunshots and gunpowder accident is usually not the same. So when Kofi, this is the story from the people that were there. When Kofi was taken to the hospital,
you're watching Dadzi
everybody's
TV.
expecting that, he will come back and it will be fine. You understand? Because I never even, like I'm saying, I never even knew that gunpowder shot can even have such a major injury. Otherwise, I'll be so far away from any such cultural displays. But when he left and he came back, he went, as his own testimony said, he came back. So there was some time lapse there. It is not that Dorma Hene is supposed to conduct any citizen arrest. That's why I don't understand what is going on. That is why we need to address this issue as an institutional lapse and institutional issues as Ghanaians, so that we will address them as it is. But when you say that he should go and bring that person, is he now supposed to go to the police to now go and do any citizen's arrest or ask the police to do an arrest? I believe that the attack that came, we should leave Dorma Hene out of this matter and do what must be done. The person who shot or who mishandled or maybe handled it, and that catastrophe, and in our language, you can say a sign. Wherever that thing came from, even in this world, as we all know, even if a murder is committed and it's not intentional, it becomes manslaughter and it becomes a different matter. So in this case, it will just have to be established what happened. I don't think that if the police really wants to see who fired the gunpowder shot, they won't find the person. That is not the truth. So the police must do their work. This has nothing to do. And if they go, they want to find the person. It is not to go to Dorma Hene. As I'm telling you, I know the chief. I've heard of the chief who entourage was coming in that had that issue. It's not a secret. And that chief entourage would have the boy who was holding the gun. You understand? So I believe that the institutions do work. That's why I keep saying all the time that if we don't make institutions work and if we don't hold people responsible, we would have situations where it is only when you know somebody that your case will be heard. And it shouldn't happen like that. We must have working institutions regardless. And so this one, the police service must do their work. And then come up with a report. And realize that maybe it was a pure accident. And therefore, for that reason, as I'm saying, we must put in a place where gunpowder shots are not used indiscriminately as they do all the time, where you just hear people shooting and shooting. So if you ask me, I'd say that I don't see Dorma Hene in this matter. People just want to, I say, they call a dog a bad name and hang. It's not how it's said. You want to make sure that say that somebody is bad, therefore you find all kinds of reasons to say that the person has done something. But I am telling you that at the time that this incident happened, within a very short time, he got a situation that was catastrophic, that cannot be reversed. And so please, this is the police matter. If the police want to know, they will know. Let me tell you that. And that I can say on authority. Because I personally sitting here know the chief who was coming in. And that chief knows who his entourage is. So why are we going round and skirting round and trying to not do what we have to do, and then holding people who are not working responsible, and then we're not trying to put the blame so that I am concerned about the tribal divide. I'm concerned about attacking institutions that are wrong. This is not the chieftaincy institution that must be attacked. It must be reformed in a way that would be beneficial to us. However, in this particular case of arrest, it must be the police, and the police must work. As I can mekan masanka besi adeɛ so sɛ yɛbɔ sɛbe bibinti na yɛyɛ traditional council la yɛyɛ traditional festival no amamre enti na yɛ festival saa amamre na yɛfɛ na amamre no ɛyɛ bibi a ɛyɛ structured ɛyɛ system ɛda hɔ ɛne deɛ nipa yɛ deɛ odi kan hwɛ wo amammo no a ɛwɔ hɔ a ɛwɔ traditional council yɛn nkɔfo fili sɛ ntoma no a yɛfɛfira no ne chain na deda da nipa kom dabi sɛnka sɛbi yɛyɛ ye call your name wo independence na mofo ne bae no e na nka ya meche sanoma bi manka bi anka ne nka ahenefo no mpo na bi anka mo ye mpanyifo anka mo di konanim me pese me ma obi ate ase se Dorma Hene sma osma yese nipa na osma no enipa na osma no na meka yo enipa na osma no ayese sebe bibia si ewo America ana ba bi na president at once na ose foreign minister na ambassador wo ho kohwe we ni
You're watching Dadzi TV.
kohwe we ye no by the time ambassador and the information be bre no na asema to ambassador na na foreign minister na ambassador me ni na asema to de say papa na kasa na no so no problem per se now answer na obeka say bia me also ni so awi ana so be ye no na any number bi she Ghana president no waye say na smile no anya nti asem e bae no esremo ye ka say e ka ni pia wan ko ka bi na ko gensi obi because asem na eya me asem ye obi ya me nka ho asem de me ya ne se mesre because ka frampo no eboa nka fo mo say ka fra enkunkuro me say enkunkuro ba eboa ma pay no e ko down enti the message ne say Dorma Hene ye adi oso ye sebe enye so ye hene kase Dorma Hene anka bi anka oye afashion po bi anko e pacho utie asem no so na ono po wa engaged to enso so jai koye if you so onim so sebe oye hene kase enti sa hene kase no di no oni ne ho so sa eye traditional setup enti asem na bae na nkofo obe sorry obe chi bi man so be hu no na I sebe amo kan simple pese me kan ko esa akwaketo bi a ye baketiksi bi ona na bi na ogina ho na afede o twa wadapa se wa anya ade enti e ho na wo be sori akobi fi ana wa cha wuti de meken enti am ka se me se me ba ne so ono nya abotre ye nyina empaibo e ba ne ho abeto no enya hia na Dorma Hene oye ni de na mu ono ankasa asem eto no sebi min kasa susi obi de benya sebetwa a to yen ti ha intimacy on de yenjai de ebe bia na ye momodin se institutions no emra na nipa na kampada na ye tutututu no ha ye be ye na dey some kind of legislature bia na bibi beba e be ka se free na ekono se yenya hospital like timi nipa no ha de ma wo bia nto ko se to ye be bia yempene bie ni aka me bisa ti mesre na na se bia wan sam gita kampara nimpo no na wonya some training bi enti me pacho obia o ka se Dorma Hene bia na enti sa se be siso obi we ka so bi ye widi ye kum ye ka so ye widi nimpo a ye ma wo ko gina court e ni bisa wo no masem obi ni se na no masem da papa ni etwa ti mesre de esi na pacho o ye de oso ye na kopim baabi e na sem sie o free ho be pie fili bia asama to mpo na ono mpo jade ti no na ada pa sha sie eba ti mesre de bia na